House is resumed. The House is in committee on the Legal Services Bill. And the question before the committee is that Part 1 stand part. Charles Chauvel has the call and has 2 minutes and 15 seconds remaining if he so chooses. I call the Honourable David Parker.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. I understand we're on Part 1 of the Legal Services Bill, which of course includes the preliminary provisions, and the preliminary provisions include the interpretation section, which include the definitions of the various proceedings to which this bill applies. The purpose of the legislation, as explained to the Select Committee, is to rationalise the provision of legal aid, particularly in respect of criminal legal aid, where there have been some problematic behaviour or patterns of behaviour that have developed according to the report that was done by Dame Margaret Baisley. It was also clear from submissions that we had at Select Committee that some of the problems that were perceived in respect of criminal legal aid did not apply to the family services, and so one of the issues that I wouldn't mind clarification on from the Minister is whether the definitions of criminal proceedings and civil proceedings in Clause 4 of the bill make it absolutely clear that some of the more rigorous provisions that are going to apply to criminal proceedings don't apply to family proceedings. Now, I understand from officials at the time that in response to submissions from family lawyers, they recognise that there does need to be a choice on the part of the family proceeding litigant as to their counsel, whereas in respect of the criminal arena it's going to be a rostered basis for the appointment of barristers and solicitors under the legal aid rosters. And I understand from the advice that came to the Select Committee that the reasoning behind that is that in respect of criminal proceedings there has been a capture, if you like, of large parts of the market by a small number of barristers who may not even be the best barristers, but that's been at considerable cost to the Crown, and there have been accusations that some of those lawyers have at times been conducting their proceedings in a way which has been expensive for the Crown and has resulted in some unexpectedly high incomes for some of those solicitors. Nonetheless, the same was not true in respect of the family law, where there was acceptance that the sort of the rostered basis, or people having a legal aid lawyer allocated to them rather than choosing their own lawyer, would not be as appropriate. And I suppose, Minister, one of the reasons why I'm interested in this issue is it seems to me that there was something in that, in respect of family proceedings you can have a protracted custody dispute, and it would be wise to have the same lawyer appearing on all parts of that protracted dispute, even a couple of years later, and particularly where there are children affected. You have counsel for the child, and counsel for the child is also paid for by the Crown often, and I'd be interested to know whether the appointment of counsel for the child in respect of family proceedings persists, or whether that's going to be rostered as well. And it's not clear to me from the interpretation clause 4 that whether that's the correct or not. So I look forward to the Minister telling me the answer to that query. In respect of another query I have is, I'm not sure what's happening in respect of proposed patients within the meaning of given to it in Section 2A of the Mental Health Compulsory Assessment and Treatment Act. And again, where it's proposed that people are effectively subject to compulsory treatment or compulsory assessment, they can actually lose their liberty from that if they for a period, and if there's going to be that sort of thing occur, then as I understand it, sometimes the Crown pays for a lawyer to represent the interests of the person who's subject to a mental incapacity. And again, I'm interested to know how that person gets chosen. Is that person chosen off this sort of roster basis that we've got going for criminal matters, or is there some other way in which that person chooses a lawyer? Does their family choose a lawyer? Does the judge choose a lawyer? Is the doctor involved in choosing the lawyer? Or does it just go down a list, and if the last one was park it, they next go to power in alphabetical order. If the mentally incapacitated person is unlucky enough to reach the PAs, not the POs, the PAs. So, Mr. Speaker, perhaps that's an issue that the Minister from the Chair could address. I'm sure he knows the answers to those technical questions, and